Butterfly, as we all know, is probably the toughest stroke to swim because it is very exhausting. Well, I think breaststroke is more exhausting, but most people would probably say butterfly is the most exhausting stroke. And that is not false because especially when you're doing a 200, you're just going to be feeling absolutely gassed at the end. I feel like a lot of swimmers would not want to ever do a two fly even though coach makes them do it, but anyways, let's get into this. So how do you get better at this like really tiring stroke? You might think, oh, get stronger, and I'll be able to power through. But strength is only one part of butterfly. An even bigger part of butterfly is proper technique. Like I don't have much strength, but fly is actually my best stroke, and I'm going to get you into the reasons why. So one aspect why butterflies can't do the stroke well is improper breathing. So when you're breathing, a lot of swimmers, what happens is let's say if this is like the surface of the water, they'll like literally have their chin all like a foot up. And by doing that, let's say this is your body positions initially like this. When they breathe, oftentimes they'll go to like this, and just look at how much drag you're getting by moving this way versus that way. A lot more drag, right? You don't want to be swimming, creating unnecessary drag for yourself because drag is bad, especially in water that is very dense. So let's go to another tip: kicking. One rule okay, well, before we get into kicking, I'll tell you one tip. So when you're breathing, try this drill where you do one, three kicks, and then what I call press snap. You do three kicks and then you pull. When you pull up, think about keeping your chin right at the surface level because if it's higher than that, you're probably lifting your head up too much. So now let's get into kicking. My idea about kicking is My idea with kicking is try to keep your hips at or above the surface after every kick. Each kick should get your hips at least near the surface level. And that is something that helps me because if your kick is like at the surface level, you're going to be much more flat. Whereas if it's underneath, you're going to have this kind of position, which is again the one position you don't want. And I feel like similar to breaststroke, kicking is actually really fundamental to butterfly because a strong kick is what allows you to maintain a flat body position. That is absolutely critical with the third thing I want to talk about, and this kind of comes in two parts, is the entry. So when your hands enter the water, you don't you want to let them you want to press and then have them land forwards, land softly, not hard. Like some swimmers, what they will do is they will slap the water. What happens is your momentum just kind of halts there, and you want continuous momentum. You don't want like that might be what happens in breaststroke, but it's not something you want. I don't think it's something you want in butterfly. So the idea is like you want a softer entry. And once they enter, like just like immediately go into like the pull phase because you don't want your arms to be stuck out here, especially for 50 or 100, because that will increase your stroke rate. And actually, this is three parts. The last thing is when they enter, don't enter them this close because you're not gonna be able to pull as much water as if they were shoulder width. Like just look at this versus that. Which one's better? Yeah, putting your hands like shoulder width apart. And I think one thing you can do is I think the press snap drill could also help you in that case, where you just leave your arms like that, except you would try to go a full stroke and think about landing here, not like up here. And the last part of butterfly, which is really critical, especially in short course swimming, we're going to do short course swimming, is turns. And honestly, I find butterfly turns way easier than freestyle and backstroke turns. I just like open turns for some reason. But enough on that. So the idea is that when you touch the wall, make sure to do two hand touch. Is that you will with your left elbow, typically your left elbow, you will yank it back as far as you can. Yank it back as far as you can. Bring your legs like close to your chest, and then with your right arm, you just like swipe down, and then go right into your streamline. That's my idea on how on your turns, and then underwater. So I'm like okay with underwaters. I wouldn't call myself a big underwaters fan because I do like 4 or 5 kicks, go to probably 7 meters, but I'm not one of these people who like to push close to 15, backstroke your backstrokers. So the idea with underwaters is you definitely don't want to pop up immediately because butterfly is tiring, and if you pop up too soon, you're going to swim or fly, and that's kind of bad. But also don't pop up, too late. If you pop up way too late, you're deprived. You can't get oxygen underwater, so you'll have to take that into consideration. And your underwater is going to slow down after like a couple kicks typically, unless you're Leon Marchand, who could probably kick like 25 meters underwater all right. But that we're not. You're most of us are not Leon Marchand, and yeah. So my experience with butterfly, I'll tell you a little history of how I fell in love with this sport. So when I was young, I was like, I absolutely could not swim this. I think I like routinely DQ'd myself because I could not get my hands over the water. And but the thing was, I had a lot of friends who just absolutely destroy me in butterfly. Like it was unfortunate, but based off them, literally resolved to become a butterflyer. And what I did was I would literally I think I like to sign myself up for two flies like almost every time because I just like that stroke. It looked like butterfly just makes you look beautiful if you do it right. Like, can't you agree that swimming it is just looks absolutely beautiful? And yeah, even as a butterflyer today, like I just get awed when I see people swim and fly, especially like I would just every time out of me, I'd be like, bro, the guys in butterfly are just swim so fucking powerful, which is not false. Like 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 guys probably generate so much fucking splash, so much energy when they're swimming butterfly. Yeah. So yeah. So my times currently right now I'm doing all I've been doing mostly 50 and 100 so far, but I'm thinking of adding a 200. Please tell me below in the comments whether I should do that or just take the 50 and 100. But as of now, my times for the 50 are a 25 flat and a 54.85 for 100. Yeah. And my two fly, it's a 2079. I'm hoping to get it down at least close to, because theoretically, with my 54 high, I could be breaking 2 minutes. Although that would be difficult with the fact that I'm still a little out of shape for two flies. So tell me if you want to see me if you want to see me hopefully someday, break 2 minutes in a two fly. Actually, I haven't even broken that in a two free, but we don't. No one needs to hear anything about that. And then the very last thing I'm gonna say is just freestyle and butterfly times. My free and fly have been like my best strokes ever since I fell out of favor with backstroke. That hopefully can come back as I start training 102 IMs. But my hot take is that free and fly times are typically like 4 or 5 seconds within 4 or 5 seconds of each other for the 100 to 450. I don't know about 200 because no one fucking swims at 200. Come on, guys. Like, why is everyone doing a two breast but you can't do a two fly? Like, anyways, well, I typically think fly free have around like, yeah, it's normally 5 seconds. For me it's 3 seconds because I've been kind of obsessively training fly, but that's beside the point, you know. And hopefully you enjoy my talk about butterfly. You learned something, and yeah. Hope to see you next time, and thank you for watching.